Joaquin Buckley isn't shy about his ambitions. He made it clear that if he beats Kamaru Usman, he wants a title shot, and not just any win. Buckley's aiming to do it in devastating fashion. In fact, he boldly claimed he'd deserve the shot more than Islam Makhachev if he pulls it off. Buckley even tossed out a few matchups he'd like to see in the welterweight division, showing he's not just thinking about his own path, but how to shake up the whole weight class. And this fight with Usman, the stakes are very high. Buckley is riding high off a dominant win over Colby Covington, a performance that flipped a lot of heads and made people realize he's not just hype, he's a real problem. Meanwhile, Kamaru is in uncharted territory. The former champ has now dropped 3 in a row and is searching for that spark that once made him the pound-for-pound king. If Buckley runs through Usman the way he says he will, it would be a massive statement and possibly set up a title fight against Jack Della Maddalena, or whoever holds the belt by the end of the year. This fight has real stakes, not just for Buckley's rise, but for Usman's legacy too. Before we continue, don't forget to subscribe so you never miss an update from the MMA world. Now let's get right into it.
This is it, I truly believe with the performance that I put on against Kamaru Usman June 14th here in Atlanta, there's no doubt, right, that the UFC should allow me and whoever else, to fight for a title. And, like I said, the next one is the belt, at the end of the day. It don't matter who it is. It's just that opportunity, that title is going to be around my waist. I say I put Ian Gary with Sean Brady. They already, chirping. They already talking about it. And, with that being said, Shavkat, boy, no telling when he gonna come out, you know what I'm saying? So with that being said, I can see him and JDM end up locking arms and me, myself, and Islam fighting for something special. Compared to some of the welterweight fighters, he matches up very well, right? With his strong grappling, his strong submission game, being able to be somewhat confident on the feet.
Moving up next we have Sean O'Malley believes there's a real case that the judges could have scored the first Merab Dvalishvili fight in his favor. Despite the general consensus that the Georgian dominated the fight, Sean believes there were judging mistakes made at the Sphere that impacted the scoring, and he discussed this during a podcast appearance with Israel Adesanya. Sean didn't sound like he was making excuses, but more like he was trying to make sense of how the cards read and where things slipped through the cracks. Still, as much as Sean's breaking it down and analyzing the small moments, the truth is this wasn't a razor-close fight. Even though Sean didn't get steamrolled like some of Merab's past opponents, he stayed composed, landed shots, and never looked overwhelmed. The outcome really wasn't in doubt. Merab's relentless pressure, pace, and control made it clear who the better man was that night. So while it's fair for Sean to explore what he could have done better, fans and fighters alike know that fight was the machine's through and through. What do you think of this rematch at UFC 319? Who you got? Leave your comments below.
On the judges' scorecards, I won round 3 and 5. Round 2 and 4, 100% he won. Round 1 was the one that gave it to him. And in my mind, if you go and watch round 1 with the commentating off, the body shots, I snapped his head back a few times. He took me down. He had me in a front headlock position. It looked to the judge, it may look like he's going for a Darce or guillotine or something, but he was just holding me there. He didn't actually do any damage. The number 1 criteria is damage in per round. Round 1, I did more damage. In my mind, everyone has their own opinions, but that fight was a lot closer than people think, and no one really cares to go rewatch it because it wasn't super exciting, and I don't blame them. But if you're gonna have an extra opinion, like just rewatch the first fight, turn the commentating off.
You're right.
And it's like it was the round 2 and 4 he dominated, and it made that's what sticks out. Kissing and shit. And I fucking almost died. And I look back on that. Herb didn't stop it. He didn't say anything. He said, "Hey, quit kissing him." Rob gets up. I go to fucking clock him.
Moving up next we have Paddy Pimblett has officially set his sights on Justin Gaethje G, claiming it's the fight fans want and dismissing Arman Tsarukyan altogether. Fresh off a TKO win over Michael Chandler, the baddie is suddenly in the mix at lightweight. While he may not be next for a title shot, his stock has undeniably risen, and he knows it. In a recent interview with BBC Sport, Paddy made it clear he's aiming for an October return in Abu Dhabi. And if Ilya wins the belt, he'd love that matchup too. But with Topuria tied up, Paddy says the Justin Gaethje G fight makes more sense. Calling Tsarukyan irrelevant and branding him a tool, that didn't sit well with Arman, who fired back on X, accusing Paddy of ducking him after previously calling him out. Tsarukyan pointed to Paddy's rise being fueled by hype and shortcuts rather than real grit. And here's the thing. While Paddy is right that Gaethje versus Pimblett would be fireworks, the way he's brushing off Arman, a legit contender who's been grinding his way up, rubs a lot of people the wrong way. It's a classic crossroads, entertainment versus merit. And in today's UFC landscape, sometimes hype wins. But if Paddy keeps swerving real threats like Arman, the backlash will only grow louder. Quote, "I'm hoping to fight in Abu Dhabi in October. I think that's when I'm going to be back in the cage. I was thinking Ilia might call me out if he wins against Oliveira. I'd love to beat him if he gets the belt. I'd love to fight him anyway, but he's booked. So I think it's more than likely that Justin Gaethje. No one cares about Arman Tsarukyan. And people actually want to watch Gaethje fight. People know it'll be an exciting fight. Me versus Gaethje. Tsarukyan, he's just an absolute tool. And then it's me, Justin Gaethje," Arman responded. "It was obvious you were talking trash with zero intention of backing it up. Your UFC career is built on handouts, hype, and shortcuts to the top." Moving up next we have Jon Jones finally broke his silence in a new interview with Deep Cut, where he opened up about his fighting future and, of course, stirred the pot once again with some subtle, and not so subtle, shots at Islam Makhachev. The two have a bit of history when it comes to the pound-for-pound #1 debate. Jones has taken jabs at Islam before on social media, clearly not a fan of being pushed aside in that conversation. Sure, he's shown respect to Islam here and there, but anytime the spotlight turns to Makhachev, Jones finds a way to throw a little shade. During the interview, the host played a word association game, naming legends like GSP, Anderson Silva, and more. Jones gave praise across the board until the name Islam Makhachev came up. Jon didn't even hesitate. The first thing he threw out was a hint that Islam's only where he is because Khabib brought him up. That's all he said. No mention of skill, dominance, or legacy. MMA fans saw it as a backhanded way of saying Islam is still stuck in Khabib's shadow, and the tone made it clear it wasn't meant as a compliment. Fans picked up on it instantly. To most, it was classic Jon Jones, petty, calculated, and unwilling to let anyone else shine without reminding them who the real king is. But again, are we even surprised? That's just how Jones operates.
Anderson Silva,
He's my idol to this day. I get nervous when I'm around him to this day.
George St. Pierre,
Masterful example.
Daniel Cormier.
Next question, please. No, I'm teasing.
You can give him a good one.
I'm proud of that man. I'm proud of him.
Proud.
I'm proud of him.
Islam.
Islam. What is it called when someone's been brought up by somebody else? He's like a
Prodigy.
protege. Yeah, he's protege. He's Khabib's protege. It's good
For
to see his
sure.
hard work pay off.
I want Islam in the chair one day. Just gonna put that out there.
You want is it on the chair?
Yeah,
Oh, that'd be cool.
I want to interview Islam.
You heard it. You heard it here, Islam.
Could we expect one more rodeo?
I don't know what life holds as far as fighting and competing. I do feel like I'll be a lifelong martial artist, whether I'm coaching others or taking exhibition matches or things like that. There's a lot of great competition still in the UFC.
That's it from MMA Arena. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe for your daily MMA news and updates. Let us know your thoughts in the comments below, and we'll catch you in the next one.